Now we can officially start.
Next Gen Jerks! Nice way to put that together. What's up, everybody? This is Jake,
This is John.
and we're back again for another episode of Next Gen Jerks.
Yes.
We've got all kinds of fun stuff. I'm actually excited about a few of these topics. Starting off, what do we got first here? Oh, yes, the current gen thing. I actually got the Game Informer for this month, and they had an awesome list. Bring up that too. It kind of goes along with it. Of all the games from E3, I know I promised I wouldn't talk about E3 anymore, but damn it. There's one more thing.
What else is there to talk about?
Well, actually, they had a nice list of the top 50 games from E3, and I don't really need the magazine at the moment. But I knocked it down to a nice little compilation of what's where. And at first, I was looking through this list, and I kept thinking, like, between Xbox and 360, or Xbox and PS4, the Xbox was winning on the amount of games that are coming out this year for, like, exclusives and all that good shit. But then I come up and actually added it all up. Xbox has only got one exclusive. The Xbox One only has one exclusive game that hit the top 50 for E3.
Yeah, Titanfall.
No, actually, that's not it. Titanfall's coming out for 360. It's right there.
No.
Yeah, go through there. There's a lot of shit. Actually, Xbox One only had one exclusive just for the Xbox One, and that was Dead Rising 3. So according to my list here, there's really no reason to go out and get a new console this year, because if you want to play anything at all, and granted you can't really say this completely until you find out the differences between the new consoles and the current consoles, but from what I added up here, there was only one game actually coming to Xbox One that was just for Xbox One. PS4 has 5 games that is just coming out for PS4. Xbox One and PS4 combined, there are 4 games just coming to the new consoles. For games coming for both next gen and current console, there are 15 games that are coming out for both consoles, which seems kind of ridiculous to me. If you're going to sell a next gen console, you think you would make more games just for that console and not try to, I understand that they're going to breathe life into the current gen for quite a while. But all these big games that they were pushing for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, you can play them all on the current gens. Destiny, that's supposed to have that MMO kind of thing to it, wasn't it? With the public events and all that shit. It's going to be on 360 and PlayStation 3. What else was there? Current gen, there was 11 or 12 more games for current gen, which I got a few of them on this list right up in front of us too. And then for considering Nintendo didn't really do anything at E3, there was 13 more games that were just for like Nintendo or Vita or all that shit.
Yeah, but that's the way it always is.
No, I don't remember there being that many games for PS2 that also worked on PS1. I think we've argued about this before.
No, I mean, not that there's PS2. Well, there's different programming architecture between PS2 and the original PlayStation, so
right.
You couldn't really make games that would be on both.
Right. But so this is kind of pointing out the
because
fact
one would be like making a game that was on PlayStation that was also on Super Nintendo. It's like it's too great of a generational gap. I mean, there's the Xbox. That's how just shows how remarkably close the PS3, the PS4 are, and the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One are.
Right.
They're so close that there's really no difference at all.
That's my argument here. There were a lot of games.
I think everyone knows that, though.
There were a lot of games that are coming out just for Xbox, but they're both going to be on Xbox One and 360.
I mean, you got to take also consideration that between Xbox and an Xbox 360 and PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, there was there was a little bit of multiplayer capabilities, but not that much.
They made it extremely hard. I remember that.
Xbox 360 and PS3 dedicated their entire systems to online.
Right.
So since the new system is still doing online and nothing's really changed, it's basically like, we've seen this before. I guess I misspoke when I say they do it all the time, but they don't, but they have done this before. They did this from the 8-bit systems to the 16-bit systems because I guess that's the best correlation. Is the games are essentially the same. The only difference is one looks better than the other.
Right. But there's got to be.
At the core of it, the games are still the same, just like they were back in the 8-bit, 16-bit era.
What's going to really conquer this conflict is the fact of what you're going to be able to do on Xbox One that you're not going to get to do on Xbox 360. And most of it probably is just going to be like smart glass bullshit and all that stuff.
Which isn't anything. Anything that's an additional bullshit. I mean, this is the thing that the companies don't seem to understand either, is that they've toyed around with little doohickeys and toys and bullshit that are supposed to be add-on additional experiences for the game. Nobody gives a shit about additional experiences in the game. The game itself is the experience that they're wanting to buy. They don't need any additional bullshit required. It's the game. But companies are still, no. We got to give them something else. And all that is a marketing ploy to position people who have zero creativity into a market that's already just filled to the brim with creative people. But everybody's got to get their piece of the pie. So they'll be like, no. See, we can create the Zeosphere that's a three-dimensional controller for your Xbox 360, and it totally adapts to this new game, and you won't be able to play the game without our crazy little 3D control thing. It's like you're really in the world. Nobody wants that shit. They want their controller in their hand, the game in front of them, and TV and all that. How much money have companies lost over decades and decades of trying fucking U-Force and the Power Glove and Sega 3D glasses? A CD-ROM fucking 6 years before it actually is economically viable. You know, all this shit is like, it's throwaway garbage. And that's kind of what Smart Glass is, although it's not. I mean, actually, it's a smarter version of the throwaway toys because it doesn't cost you anything to download the app. It didn't cost them hardly anything to develop. Everybody's already got the devices anyway. But, I mean, the nifty little doodads and trinkets and bullshit that they now throw at you as actual, like, this is what you're buying. Like, but nobody wants to buy Kinect and Smart Glass and the wand bullshit. And, I mean, nobody wants, I mean, unless, actually, after the Wii, nobody wants that. Because everybody started to recognize, like, wow, this sucks. And, you know, everything kind of went back to the same holding a controller.
Some of that shit's just going to get smashed down your throat anyway, like the Kinect.
But, yeah, like with Xbox 360, they're literally like, yeah, here's the Kinect. You know, you gotta have it.
Right.
It's our little baby now. But that's really the only difference outside of graphics, and that's my reasoning for why it's so easy to have games on both. And why wouldn't they put it out on 360 and PS3? Everyone's already got those.
Right. But see, just the simple fact that they're pushing these things to be so technologically advanced, it should have technologically advanced games that don't work on the 360. You would think that there'd be something.
But this is the first gen, Jake. This is the first gen of games. They all first gen. Look at all first gen titles for every console that's ever come out. They always look very similar. If the systems are that close to the one that preceded it, they are extremely close.
This must
be
the first time that the console's technology has been that close to where they can pull this off.
The latest, or the very tail end of the PlayStation's run, the games on that looked really, really good. In obvious preparation for the PS2. The very tail end of the PS2, the game, they'd maxed out what the system could possibly do.
God of War,
PS3 came out. It's like, ooh, this looks nice, but it's only a graphical update with some multiplayer stuff thrown in.
Right.
It's the same deal here. It's just the first gen stuff's always going to look closest to the last gen.
And that makes me sad.
Because all your developers are still in the old generation mode. So until they can get beyond that and start thinking of using the new tools, the new engines, and all that shit.
I understand all that. It just seems silly that they've had all this time to prepare. They've known about it.
What time have they had? No one's apparently had the system.
No, they've had the system for quite a while before they announced it. Everyone got a chance to mess around with the technology and all that shit. I've been reading about it for over a year now. It just seems silly that there's only 10 games that you can't play, or that you have to have either the PS4 or the Xbox One to play. It just seems like they would have went farther and made it more, exclusive. Like, bam, you have to have this.
You do realize this is getting released this year. I mean,
I know,
at the tail end of this year.
And they're scared to death that sales would be bad for the new console. So, of course, they had to push the old console.
They're not going to
completely
just solely direct all of their game development. I mean, companies have to make money now.
I understand
And no one's
that.
going to pass up the holiday season on the off chance that everyone's going to buy a new console, especially with the tepid fucking delivery of the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Right.
I guarantee you it doesn't sell that many consoles.
They're already sold out quite a bit. All the pre-orders.
PS4.
Yeah, the pre-order I saw for PS4 pre-orders in the UK
Well, you can't really.
are supposedly not going to get it on release date because they've sold too many of them.
The funny thing is, you can be as smart and rational as you possibly want. Some stupid kid, and I take that back. Billions of stupid kids are going to prove you wrong every fucking time.
Probably.
Because you can't make a case against stupidity. And kids, all they see, PS4, and their dreams are just fucking resolved to PS4, the dream of it, and wake up, oh, God, PS4, give it to me. And that's all they think about. You know, and the younger they get, the stupider they are, and the more they just have to have it. And the older you get, you're like, it's just a plastic box that plays video games. The more you start sounding like you're a crotchety old man, like, I don't know why you kids are so hung up on this, blah, blah, blah. And the only benefit that people our age have is that we're old enough to have grown up our entire lives with video games, so it's like we have the basis of comparison. Like, you know, like to mock and scoff kids and like, this fucking newfangled PS4, what's it gonna bring you? I remember my day we used to get excited about games, but you didn't have anything else. This is all you had. Now you got so much other, you know. It's like, I don't know. That's where my disconnect is starting to grow because shit like Saints Row 4. All these games in this magazine, the new consoles, it's like I just don't. I don't know. I mean, it's good that they're releasing these games on 360 because there's a very strong chance I won't be buying the new consoles, at least not for a while.
Yeah, that's where the same boat I'm in. And that is good because I counted it up. There was, 12 current gen games.
Wait a minute. Wait. What about The Elder Scrolls Online? If that's on 360 and PS4.
No, that is just on Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I've got up to where, like, both of them. That's one of the 4 that's on both of the new consoles.
Yeah, but still, that
But
alone,
that's delayed until 2014. That's not a release game.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah.
That's always been 2014.
Oh, has it? I thought they were going to try to push it, but then it got pushed back.
I thought you were saying 2015. Like,
no.
God damn it.
It shouldn't take them that fucking long. It just says spring. So,
Yeah, 2014, I'm fine with that.
Easily. But there is hope for people like us who don't plan on buying their new consoles anytime soon. There was, 15 games that are going to be both on the new consoles and the current gens. And then 12 more that are just going to be on the current gen consoles. And I've got a list of some of the highlights here that I wanted to go over because there are a few that I'm excited about.
I know, Saints Row 4.
Saints Row 4. I got to watch some video on that, and the video looked pretty fun. It kind of irks me a little bit because it looks exactly like Saints Row the Third.
Because you've bought every Saints, right?
No, I've only had the third one. I didn't buy the first 2. But I played Saints Row 3, and I liked it a lot. But it just kind of irked me because the fourth one looks literally the same, except for, the superpowers, which could be fun once you get to playing it.
Can we deviate for a second?
What?
I know this. It's like breaking news, but Xbox no longer requires Kinect to function.
I don't know. Surely not.
Have we broken a new story? No, obviously not. We're on IG. And it was from yesterday.
All right, so let's jump off there for a second. In addition to reversing its new or used game DRM policies, Microsoft has revealed the console will no longer require Kinect to function. In our latest Ask Microsoft Anything, Xbox Corp revealed that Xbox One owners will be able to use all of the console's core functions regardless of whether the new Kinect sensor is connected. Naturally, many of the tentpole features of the new Kinect, such as player identification, voice command, blah, 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 will be disabled as a result, but players will still be able to play games and access entertainment content. Now, this is big because before they literally just said, like, nothing will work if the Kinect isn't plugged in.
But see, this is what I was saying was going to happen all along, that it was crazy for them to just push forward blindly. especially after E3. I mean, I was
Right.
saying that before E3. It's like for them to just shove the Kinect down people's throats, they're going to make that the most unpopular system out there. E3 confirmed that. Now they're doubling back, and now they've just fully doubled back. And it's
Right.
like, well, we had a bunch of plans, but fuck all those plans. You just want the games. We understand that now. Don't penalize us, please, by not buying our system. But, it's these kind of trends that kind of undo a company, or unmake them.
They have to constantly go back and change their
I'm s-
policies over
yeah,
and over again.
I'm still with the people who are like, put it all back. Because why not? I mean, it just makes them look weak and stupid to like.
Yeah, but a lot of people did not like that Kinect thing. They didn't like the scary thought of Xbox being able to peer into the living rooms 24 hours a day.
But
God, I talked to my buddy Tribble, and I say that because not everybody knows who that is. But yeah, and he is on that bandwagon like crazy. Like, I ain't letting those people in my living room, FBI, blah, blah, blah. What if someone accidentally gets killed in my living room? Then I got it all on video and they can just come and arrest me for it. I'm like, well, if someone gets killed in your living room, you kind of have to report that anyway. You gonna do hide the fucking body? Jesus.
Here's what it ultimately comes down to. I'm not saying anything about this Tribble person and his habits, but a lot of people tend to enjoy recreational activities while enjoying their recreational activities, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they definitely don't want a video camera in their home filming them and having all the knowledge in the world of knowing that Microsoft's giving all the information to the NSA. They're kind of suspicious about, that.
I understand that, and again, not referring to anyone in particular, but seeing the FBI watching a video in your living room with a bong sitting on your table, I don't think they're going to come knocking on your door.
But the
If you
FBI is
got
not
40
watching.
Huh? Or whoever's watching.
The
Xbox
NSA.
and the NSA. But if you got 40 fucking kilos of fucking cocaine on your table in your living room in front of your fucking Kinect sensor, one, you're an idiot.
Why are you an idiot? You're in the privacy of your own home. You
With-
shouldn't be monitored in your own home.
40 kilos of cocaine. Maybe
Hey,
technically I'm kind of on the bandwagon for
technically,
maybe some people do need to be watched.
Hey,
Not everybody.
hey. Now that's an intrusion of freedom.
That is an intrusion of freedom.
Because just because you have a bunch of cocaine on your table doesn't mean you have any intent to distribute. And it's not illegal to have cocaine for personal use and to
Yes,
take
it is.
cocaine. It's illegal to buy and sell and manufacture. It is not illegal to use.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
How is cocaine not illegal for possession? That's not illegal anymore. When did that happen?
Possession doesn't apply outside of the home.
Okay.
Or possession does apply outside of the home. And inside the home, it's okay. As long as you have possession that's not intent to... Wait. No. Possession with intent to distribute.
Having that much is an
legal.
automatic.
But that's
intent to
the problem.
distribute.
That's the problem. You could have that much and then be labeled a drug dealer, but still not be a drug dealer. It could be for all your own personal use. It could have been prescribed to you.
Cocaine doesn't get subscribed. That's marijuana.
You can prescribe cocaine
For what?
for, I don't know, headaches. I don't know what doctors would prescribe
Early
it for.
suicide? That's the only fucking thing.
Hey, it started out as a medical fucking drug, and it still remains a medical drug
Obviously,
to this
I
day.
don't know my history on fucking cocaine. But still, that's my point. I mean...
But that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea behind this whole NSA shit. It's illegal for the government to do that, and it's going to become. See, the only reason the NSA is doing this is because it's the new frontier. It's like every time a new technological thing is created, it's the old west all over again.
Right.
So they can get it. They can skirt laws by saying, "Oh, well, it's new technology. You didn't have the laws to cover that." So
nobody
then
said anything about
lawmakers
sensor.
have to then spend all their time like, okay, and then they have to write all the laws and fucking get it all passed to basically keep these fucking people who should have better sense than to exploit loopholes in the law. From exploiting loopholes in the law, and it just sucks but it's eventually all going to be, rendered illegal, based on the Constitution anyway. But that's why nobody has to worry about any of this. It's even if you did get busted, like as you'd say, like in your home with a bunch of drugs or whatever, they're not going to. Only in like today, like in now times, is that matter. By the time this gets released, they'll probably have enough laws in the books to undo all that or make it illegal for them to actually use that data to
Use it
serve,
against you, yeah.
to serve arrest warrants or search homes or
So
whatever.
there you go, people. Do as much cocaine in front of your connects as you want.
Because they can't use the evidence. They won't be able to use the evidence because it's unconstitutional. All right, back to the games.
All right. Okay, yes, back to current gen releases. We already talked about Saints Row 4.
I did see a funny commercial for this game.
For Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell comes out. We didn't have in August somewhere. Which I've never been a big fan of the Splinter Cell.
Never played it at all.
I remember going back to my buddy Tribble. He played them a lot. He loved the stealthiness of it, but I thought the stealthiness was boring. A lot of people do like them. I know they tried to pump out one Splinter Cell that was more action and less stealth, and that didn't work out very well for them, I don't think. But, yeah.
Yeah. I've never played it, but the commercial was pretty funny.
And then another one coming out, the big one, is Grand Theft Auto 5, the one everybody is freaking out about. I heard they've even got PlayStation and Xbox bundles to wrap up with the Grand Theft Auto release, just in case you don't already have a system and you've been waiting for Grand Theft Auto 5 for the past 3 or 4 years. Then you can go out and buy yourself a new PlayStation and a new copy of Grand Theft Auto 5. I always thought the bundle seemed a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to go to somebody's house and see them with their 5 Xboxes stacked up on top of each other because they had to get the big fucking
only
bundle
rich
pack.
people buy consoles during game release time.
Yeah.
I got the Halo console. I got the Call of Duty console.
The Gears of War, yeah. But yeah, so this game, and I saw they're going to release the info for Grand Theft Auto Online coming up this week. So next time we do a Next Gen Jerks, we'll have all the info on that.
Oh, boy.
Hey, that's actually a big deal. That's kind of what's got me on the fence for this game, is wanting to know how the online's going to work. And since they call it Grand Theft Auto Online, it almost sounds like they're trying to slap it into an MMO or some shit, which I don't see that happening because there's only 3 main characters.
Yeah, but the lobby of the last game was almost exactly like that.
Yeah, you mean just with that open world playground that you got to screw around in?
Yeah, that was the definitive multiplayer sandbox experience.
Right. But all it was basically a waiting room you could shoot people in.
Right, but that was more fun than the death matches and all that other shit. The lobby was the fucking funnest part.
Yeah, and Red Dead Redemption did that too, didn't they?
I don't know. I never played multiplayer.
I think they did. They had the whole map you could run around in and play, but if you wanted to go to a death match, you had to go to a certain place.
Oh.
And like in front of the saloon, they had the death match.
Yeah, but nobody talks about Red Dead Redemption.
Well, it's from the same fucking company. That's why I brought it up. This seems to be Grand Theft Auto's thing now, where they like to have interactive lobbies. And you don't have to go to the death match if you don't want to. You can just ride around and shoot people all day long.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I was extremely disappointed by Grand Theft Auto 4's terrible radio choices. And I really think that they need to get back to the... well, I don't know. What time does this game take place? Modern time?
I'm guessing currently, yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That's going to be a bunch of modern music. Oh, well.
You'll have like an oldies rock station in there or some bullshit like that.
Yeah. It's just Grand Theft Auto 4, it took place kind of out of time, it seemed like. I mean, I guess it's supposed to take place. Station. Yeah, but it was all just like, it just didn't, I don't know. I just didn't dig the music. I guess I'll stick with that.
Actually, that's what I loved about Saints Row the Third. It had a thing where you could build a mixtape from all the songs that it had on it, so you didn't have to listen to a particular station. You just put your mixtape in, and then you got to hear like all the best songs in the game.
Saints Row 2 did that too.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
See, I never played Saints Row 2.
See, that's why you like Saints Row 3, because it was the only one.
Saints Row 2 is...
Saints Row 2 is the exact same game.
The Saints Row franchise did it better.
Saints Row, it's like Saints Row is the same thing, and this is why I'm not getting jacked about Saints Row 4. Is because once you played one Saints Row game, you've played them all. You don't need to play any other ones.
Saints Row 4's got the superpowers, man, and it looks pretty neat.
Right.
If I thought we could run the video, I would run, but it was like 20 minutes of gameplay, the one I saw. Puppeteer, a rare game that is able to win you over with the moments revealing itself, but is exactly what Sony had on its hands. Japanese studio platformer walks a fine line between 2D and 3D while excluding efforts. I don't see why this game's so special.
Exuding effortless creativity. What isn't this fucking Little Big Planet? By the way they describing it, it sounds like a Little Big Planet.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Shit. I was gonna say pull it up, but you already got your Super Mario thingy up.
The game, yeah. I don't know. Skip that one. But to the one that I'm especially excited about now.
Arkham Origins.
Batman Arkham Origins.
Oranges.
Yes, I almost said that. I've been thinking about that all week. Like, I know as soon as I get on the mic, I'm going to say fucking Batman Arkham Oranges because I can't talk right for some reason. It just turns it into like a
Oranges.
Batman,
It's pretty close.
Batman Fruit Ninja game where you're sitting there cutting fucking
Arkham Oranges. Get your Arkham Oranges.
But yes, Origins, the new Batman game is coming out. And this I'm actually extremely excited for because on the next topic I have, it actually has revealed the multiplayer. And we're going to save that for just a second until we get done with this list.
Can't wait.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. Anyway, keep going down. We'll get back to Batman in a
Greg
second.
Miller's an asshole, by the way.
What? What the hell that got to
Go
do
ahead.
with anything? Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, yes, Beyond Two Souls, the game that has now become like fucking Middle East battle zone for some. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't. Well, what we saw on it, she was like in a hospital playing around with the.
And now it's like
telekinesis and
she's. Every time I see it now, she's in the army or some shit. Or
It's
out
just going to
in
be that
the
big a
Middle
game.
East.
First, she was playing with fucking doctors with her mind, and now she's in the military doing crazy shit.
Well, of course she's in the military because with psychic powers, who's going to snatch her up? The military.
Exactly,
Ah.
And maybe it was a military hospital that she was in the beginning.
Ah,
There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, so Beyond Two Souls, everyone seems to be looking forward to this. People who liked Heavy Rain and the Indigo Prophecy, whatever the fuck that was.
Never played it. That's on Indigo Prophecy. Isn't that on Xbox or is that? Just
That's
on...
probably PlayStation because I know Beyond Two Souls is a straight PS3 title. No Xbox for Beyond Two Souls.
I've heard of Indigo Prophecy on something else though. Maybe it was PS2.
It could have been.
Heavy Rain was awesome though.
But yeah, that says that this one's going to be one of the PS3's final hurrahs. We weren't ecstatic about the small slice we played at E3. That's a good way to pump it. We fully realize this is the type of game that needs to be experienced from start to finish.
Yes.
So obviously not a lot of people like the whole
You
thing.
can't, but it's just like Heavy Rain. You can't start playing it and be like, that's kind of boring. You literally have to get to that point where it's like, oh, the story just hooks you and then drags you in, and then you can't put it down. I imagine this is going to be in this a lot of the same way.
Right. And then one for John here, down here at the bottom, Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2.
Why do you think that's for me?
Because I know you're a big Castlevania fan.
What made you think that?
Didn't you buy a bunch of different Castlevania games?
I have 2 on my fucking Xbox Live
You're the only
arcade.
one I've heard of in the last 20 years who still plays Castlevania, all right? So
Well, you don't get out much. They're releasing the games. I wanted to play I wanted to have Symphony of the Night because everyone claims that's the greatest Castlevania game ever, and it was pretty cool. And the other one, the Harmony of Despair or whatever the hell that game was,
Right.
that was a complete disaster. That game sucked ass. But no, I'm not hung up on Castlevania.
Oh, I thought you were. And considering this is going to be current gen, it's not going to be a side scroller like the 2 that you played. Because
Well, what's the point?
if it's
You know what I want? A new side scroller Mega Man, not Mega Man, a new side scroller Metroid game. That's what I would like to see.
Actually, well, that comes up on the Super Mario thing, actually.
Really?
I think you'll find that kind of funny. Oh, yes, and then South Park's The Stick of Truth, the big South Park RPG that's supposed to be coming out where you get to create your own South Park character and run through the whole South Park
Is that an arcade game or is that an actual
No, that's a
disc
full-on, like a RPG.
It's an RPG? Wow, I may buy it.
Really? You
I
think
that'd
so?
be funny.
Oh, it'll probably be hilarious. It just will it be worth actually playing.
Oh, I guarantee it.
That's
My money is on South Park, The Stick of Truth for your holiday shopping.
And then after that, we got Gran Turismo 6.
Nobody fucking cares
Yeah,
about Gran
nobody
Turismo.
cares. Oh, yes, Dark Souls 2 if you want to break your controller for the 15th time. Because I actually bought the first Dark Souls game. I rented the Dark Souls game because I was curious. Everyone was like, this is the best but hardest game in the fucking world. So I bought it, and I rented it, and I played it, and I kind of liked it. It has interesting mechanics and all that good stuff, but it is hard as fuck. Like, if you don't block every little thing, then these guys will kill you in like 3 fucking hits. Shit pops out and kills you for no fucking
But
reason.
I thought that
the
was
dragons are insanely fucking hard. So I kind of hated the game as something. It was like a love-hate. Like, I want to finish it, but I know I can't do it while I rent it.
But I thought that was your whole thing. You were always bitching about games where all you did was hit buttons and kill people and over, and
button
it had
mash
no
thing?
Yeah, and you didn't really have any accomplishment or feel like you did anything.
Any sort of strategy. I do feel that way on a lot of games. But this one is the exact opposite. It takes literally like hardcore precision strategy, and it's fucking hard. It is. It's one of the hardest games I've ever played. I ended up buying it at GameStop for like $20. And since I've bought it, I've never cracked open that fucking case because I just didn't want to go through the fucking inner turmoil of just getting my ass kicked for hours on end all over again. So one day I will sit down and play that game again. It's just, oh God. And now they made Dark Souls 2 and it looks awesome. I've seen shit on it. It looks fucking beautiful. The dragons, the cinematics, I'm sure the difficulty's going to be there too. It's just, do I want to take an ass whipping over and over again? Just like I did with Dark Souls 1. And parts of me do. Where are you going? But yeah, it just, a lot of people do like the Dark Souls. I mean, but it is a very difficult and very frustrating game. So attempt Dark Souls 2 on your own.
Now they're going to start barking because they can hear our voice.
Yep.
My dogs. Okay, indies.
Yeah, we don't need. Then that's it for the current gen from this list. Indie games, you can dig those up on your own.
Indie games are indie games, unless it's that one that looked pretty cool. Then I'd be
that one
that
you that looked pretty
cool.
the
one that looked like an old school 2D RPG. God damn it!
I vaguely remember what you're talking about. It's probably in here somewhere in the top 50.
It probably
53.
is,
but I don't remember.
But I don't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on that page, so we're not looking for it. All right, yeah, but we're done with this one. So
did we just talk about that without looking at it? No, we did for a second. Okay, well, whatever. Yep, so you have games to look forward to on the current gen system.
But yes, now we get to move to the one game that I am excited about. Yes, this is going to be awesome. So excited. Batman has multiplayer. What? This is, yes, it's going to be great. It has a very, it's like the most original multiplayer ever. Yeah, I know. He's got 5 o'clock shadow for some reason. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't realize you liked that so much. Yeah.
Look at that.
There's 5 o'clock shadow Batman. I am so into the crime fighting I don't have time to shave.
That's fucking horrible.
And then slide it over to Emo Robin.
I'm too fixated on this fucking. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then you have Emo Robin there.
Oh Jesus.
So you've got 5 o'clock shadow Batman.
Actually, it looks like Tom Cruise Robin.
Oh yeah, it does look like a young Tom Cruise Robin, doesn't it? Oh yeah. But you have to remember, this is supposed to be the origin of Batman, the early days, when obviously crime fighting was more important than personal hygiene.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
We got to play the video now. Jesus.
But, okay. So, yeah, the multiplayer.
That's going to play an ad for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that was sweet.
The multiplayer works like this, though, and it's fucking the most ingenious way to do multiplayer ever. And I don't know if it's going to have more than one mode. The mode they talk on here is a 2 versus 3 versus 3 online multiplayer mode where you get to play as either Batman or Robin on one team, Joker and 2 of his henchmen on another team, or Bane and 2 henchmen on the third team. Whoa, that was loud.
Sorry. Xbox One. Reserve yours today.
Damn.
Getting back to the story.
Yes. We got all distracted there. But yeah, so this could be like the coolest thing ever. You have your friends get in. 2 of you are Batman and Robin.
Gotham.
The other 6 people split up on the Joker side. And the strategy on this could just be insane.
And whoever controls the most turf is going to rule this whole town.
Must I do everything myself?
And the other big thing about this, as you see right here, Joker and Bane are playable characters. Come on, how cool is that? You get to actually play as Joker and Bane.
3
Versus
1. No, 3. Versus 2.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but
See,
3 versus 3 versus 2?
Right, yeah. Do you not been listening to anything I've been saying?
No. I was too busy laughing.
What this is
$5 Shadow Batman.
Joker and his henchmen are facing off against Bane and his henchmen,
Okay.
fighting for territory through the map, and all the time, Batman and Robin are hanging out up in the shadows, up in the rafters, and all this crazy shit, and taking out the gangs on their own while they're taking out each other. So the strategy on this could be monumental. Fucking just crazy awesome. That's why I'm excited about this. You pit two teams against each other, but you put the wild card or wild cards in there, Batman and Robin, to fuck up the play, or you try to get Joker and Bane's teams to get together and take out Batman and Robin before they take out each other. Just the different ways you could go about this is fucking amazing. You could
Not really.
Yes.
Because when you think about it, it's basically Team A and Team B, and then you have Team C that attacks both teams, but both teams can attack Team C.
Yes. It's a
But-
free-for-all,
So basically, it's no different than just regular team deathmatch from a certain perspective.
except for there's three teams.
Yeah, there's 3 teams, but from one team's perspective, say you're on Team A,
Well, so, okay, Joker's
you're attacking Team B
Bang.
and Team C, but essentially it's just Team B.
Well, now see, that's...
Just like from Team B's perspective, they're attacking Team A, but they're also attacking Team C. But to them, it's basically just the opposing team.
Well, yeah. But still, I mean, you're just slamming
Except in the rare instances where Team C kills the guy that you're on Team B, if you're on Team A, that you're trying to kill before you kill him,
Right.
and then kills you.
But then at the same time, you have to try to kill Team C if they're attacking you.
Right.
So, that's just showing all the different ways this could work. Team A and B could team up together. Now, this all depends on whether there's respawns or not. If this is one of those deals, kind of like Gears of War, where once you're dead till the end of the round, then literally it would be like we have to work together because Batman and Robin is a whole lot cooler than the henchmen for either fucking teams. Granted,
As long as Batman and Robin weren't playable characters.
they are.
See, but that's where you ruin it.
How?
Because it'd be cooler if it was your team of baddies versus the other team of baddies, and then you've got these 2 AI wild cards running around doing whatever they want.
See,
Now, if they're player controlled, then it basically it injects the idea of not playing by the rules.
that's the whole point of this. Is
But
that it's
Batman
a whole
and Robin
new
play by the
formula.
rules. They're the good guys.
What are you talking about playing by the rules? Not killing people?
Yeah, like maybe Batman and Robin decide to team kill each other instead of actually playing the game. They
Well,
they
I never
form an
even thought of
allegiance
that.
with Team B and only attack Team A every match.
Well, then that's just how you team up with. But you'd have to think that if you wanted to win and you were Batman and Robin, you'd have to be the last man standing, and you couldn't literally just hang out in the rafters the whole game, wait for the two teams to kill each other off, and to be like, "Hey, guess who's left?"
But
Batman
that's
and Robin.
technically what you could do as Batman. You could wait for the other teams to kill each other off to one guy, then swoop down and take down the last guy.
That's true. That is
Now,
one way you could do it.
Now, if it was the two teams, imagine it in Call of Duty standpoint, in thinking. You've got your team, the other opposing team, and you're both trying to kill each other. But in the midst of the battle, there's other forces trying to kill both of you that
Right.
nobody controls. But it's elements that both teams have to be wary of as you're trying to kill the other people.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's-
This isn't.
it's exact same thing, except
Not
for the
really.
thing you have to be wary of is controlled by actual players and not AI.
But
If
that
it was
means it's
controlled-
susceptible to bullshit. That's my point. If it's out of
Everything's
if it's
susceptible
out
to
of
bullshit,
control,
it's the internet, John.
if it's out of control of the people playing the game, then it's just one of the aspects of the game that has to be taken into consideration, not some other douchebag's fucking bullshit. As like, you know how, because all multiplayer revolves around the same thing, ruining the experience for the other player,
Right.
and that's just another way to exploit that system.
Well,
I'm anti-multiplayer at this point.
and that was one of the reasons I got a 360, so me and you could play multiplayer together. Well, let's go to one thing real quick. Now, you think about this whole matchup. Literally, you're worried, what happens if I get stunk as a henchman? Usually, henchmen are taken out with like 2 or 3 punches. Scroll back up a little farther. All right, there. Here we go. But these are not ordinary henchmen. Joker and Bane have enlisted their gang elite to take down the dynamic duo, outfitting them with special gadgets like enhanced vision, which works like Batman's detective mode to see other players, through walls and objects, but with limited battery power. So you're only going to get to use it for like 4 seconds and it's going to shut off again. And deadly themed weapons like the Joker's gang surprise, you're dead, proximity mine, and Bane's crew's ultrasonic pulse that can zap enemies even through walls.
But
so
it's just multiplayer gadgets.
But that's just it.
Once again, coming back to the Call of Duty aspect, it's basically just everybody knows the deathmatch way of playing, and it's all based on the mechanics of whatever game you're playing. If you're playing this, you're playing in third person, kind of Gears of War style of fucking multiplayer. But these are just tools to help you get around, find people, blah, 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 develop your style. But it all returns to the same basic mechanics of everyone's out for themselves. There is no real strategy.
Now, see, but with
you could hope that the players in the game will be like, let's play by the rules and develop strategy. But they don't.
Well,
people are cocksuckers and they don't fucking work together. That's why I hate multiplayer nowadays. Sorry, that was disrupted. It's like they don't want to do it. Like,
there's literally no strategy because of the score. Everybody wants to be the top dog and all that shit because they'll level up faster and all that good stuff. And I kind of hope that shit like that will be taken out of this game because from what I hear, what it plays out, it doesn't look like you're going to have any sort of gear set up or anything like that. You're not going to get to choose what weapons your guys have. So that takes out leveling up completely. So there's no real reason to be the top dog. You just want to be the winning team. So maybe that'll take away from...
That gets old fast.
Well, hopefully there's got to be there will be some incentive to play, I'm sure. It doesn't explain it on here of how things are going to work up like that. But, I mean, I really hope this is one of those games where, like, this is the one thing that breaks the mold on multiplayer. You get together, you gang up, you really work on, like, taking your fucking side of the map or taking the whole map, however that the domination style works. But you also have to worry about the people on the sidelines, Batman and Robin. It just seems like there could be a lot of strategy in this. I'm really excited for it because at first, Saints Row was going to be my big buy coming up. And now, since Saints Row really hasn't said anything about their multiplayer modes, this one has now jumped to the top of the list of my big buy just to check out this multiplayer.
Yeah, I could have figured that Batman would have beat out anything else.
It didn't. It didn't at first.
What's with the Legend of Billie Jean?
I don't know who that is. Copperhead? There's going to be a lot of villains in there that not a lot of people have heard of because it's going so far back into the early times of Batman.
Here's what I'm interested in.
Actually, I've got that in there too somewhere. Moving on.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, somewhere.
August free Xbox games.
No, down there, DuckTales.
Oh.
But actually,
well, then we'll get to that.
Well, hold on. Just let me check out your story because it's actually probably better than the one I
just
found.
stopped it.
Okay, don't worry about it.
It's the same thing.
video.
IGN. It's yeah.
Yeah, there was like 4 different stories on IGN about it. All right, don't worry about it. Okay, so going on to free games. Xbox Live has dumped out its list of free games for August.
Okay.
Now John's pissed.
Well, I was pissed last month when it was Assassin's Creed 2. I was like, okay, well, it's an old game, I understand.
Right.
But Crackdown this month, it's like basically this whole system that they've developed now of now you get free games for being on gold is like a kick in the crotch to anybody who bought these fucking games. It's like, I already bought that. It's like, why the fuck? If I knew they were going to give it away eventually, I never would have bought the cocksucker. Dead Rising 2, I've been wanting to buy that game just to, I don't know. I've
kill a bunch of zombies.
Been thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy it, but I'm like, I don't really have. So that's a decent buy. Kind of like the way Fable 3 was. Like, I wouldn't buy that game if you gave me the money to actually buy it.
Right.
Well, except for in the sense of that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
But, I figured, I'll download it. It's free. Give it a shot. Played it for a week, and I haven't been back.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 2, that's another game that was like that. Dead Rising 2 Case Zero, I guess I don't know what the hell that is.
That was, it wasn't DLC. It was kind of like a spin-off. You don't have to have one to play the other, but you basically get to play in the Dead Rising 2 world, but you get to use Frank from the first Dead Rising. And there's a whole new story to it and all that good stuff. I don't know exactly what's going on about it, but that's what that is. You get to play as Frank instead of the weird blonde
But
guy
I think
from Dead Rising
making
2.
Crackdown one of the free games is kind of a kick in the nuts.
Why?
Because that would be like making Assassin's Creed one of the fucking free games.
Why?
That's how far back Crackdown goes.
But that's just the point. They're looking for games.
Have you noticed that they haven't put Halo on this yet? Halo 3?
They announced it.
Yeah, they did announce it, but it hasn't been one of the free games
It probably
yet.
will be. They're
Why?
just trying to
That was one of the very first games. Well, not very first, but that was one of the close to release games that came out the following year, I believe.
Well, that's what they're trying to dig up old popular games from 5, 6, 7 years ago, and re-release them as free games to get people.
No, they're releasing cheap games that everyone's either played to death or already own. Like
Well,
Crackdown
see, I've been
and
playing
Assassin's Creed 2.
I've been playing Crackdown for the past 4 or 5 days now.
Really?
And yes, I have. Because I played Crackdown 2. I never played Crackdown 1. Because remember, we played Crackdown 2 together for quite a while.
Yeah, but I thought you'd already had Crackdown by that time.
No, I never played Crackdown.
Oh.
So I downloaded it for free. It's not a bad game. Granted, they didn't change hardly anything in Crackdown 2. The one thing they did change in Crackdown 2, I noticed.
The fucking things that jump out of the fucking ground.
No, well, the zombie thing, actually, honestly, that was one thing that should have been left out of Crackdown 2. Because
then it would have been Crackdown.
I know, but but I noticed one thing, one small little detail. In Crackdown 2, once you got your strength so high, you could use light poles as like baseball bats and shit. That's not in the first Crackdown. You literally can only throw shit in a Crackdown. There's no swinging to like have it.
Yeah, that's true.
And that kind of sucks. I mean, granted, because I love throwing shit at people. I love being up. That's the same reason I want to play Saints Row.
Well, that's why Crackdown 2 is
I
supposed
love
to be
being
better.
able to pick shit up and chuck it at people. That's just fun as hell.
But yeah.
But for free games, if you never played Crackdown, it's worth a week. It's worth the download. Dead Rising 2, I'm going to download that too.
Is it? Did you download Assassin's Creed 2?
No, because I already bought Assassin's Creed 3 for $15 when it was on sale the month before that. So I didn't think I needed 2 Assassin's Creed games piling up on my hard drive. I already had one.
It's a totally different story.
I know it's a totally different story, but basically it's a better game.
I would understand if you Assassin's Creed 2 came up and you'd already owned like Brotherhood and the other ones.
Right.
That'd be like, okay, that would be stupid to buy Assassin's Creed 2 because it's basically the same fucking game with the same goddamn character.
Right.
But between 3 and 2, they're totally different games.
I understand that, but gameplay-wise, 3 has got to be the better game.
Why? Because it has 3 in it instead of 2?
No, because it's later in the series, so everything will be tweaked up a little better.
Assassin's Creed 2 is a good game.
I'm sure it was. I just didn't need 2 Assassin's Creed games on my hard drive at one fucking time, so no, I did not download Assassin's Creed 2. I already had 3 on there.
It's a continuation
I
of
still
the
need
story.
to start playing 3.
But it was a good story nonetheless. And it wasn't like Brotherhood and the other one where it's just fucking retarded retreads of of 2.
Almost feels like just VR missions or something.
Yeah, it's just like it didn't carry the story. It definitely didn't carry the story of Desmond forward very well.
Right.
Which you don't even know what I'm talking about.
No.
Desmond was the guy in the video who stabbed the chick.
Gotcha. But and I like how they're doing this. I mean, granted, John's pissy because half these games are releasing he already owns. But it is kind of a cool idea. I know they're stealing PlayStation's idea because PlayStation this month, I don't have it up here, but God, they released like 4 of the Rayman games for free this month or some bullshit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, Rayman.
Hey, a lot of people like Rayman.
A lot of 15-year-old kids.
That's true.
Which is fucking hilarious because when it came out and they were 15, they'd be what, 25 by now?
Well, no, like
When the
Rayman Origins, it came out, and it's...
You mean later Rayman titles?
Yeah, well, no, they had the early... It was like 1 through 4, and then Rayman Origins. And Rayman Origins is supposed to be awesome.
It's Rayman. It's a little fucking...
Yeah, I know. I said Rain Man, didn't I?
No, you said Rayman, but Rayman... It's Rayman. It's just fucking Rayman. It's not like Mario or Sonic. Or...
It's just a platformer just like any of the others.
Yeah, it's just Rayman, though.
So PlayStation is actually beating Xbox on the free games, like the quality and the amount of games they're punching out. I've actually been trying to get a hold of a PlayStation 3, but I'm too goddamn cheap to just go buy one, so I've been trying to get one off eBay, and that hasn't been working either.
Well, why would you?
Why would I what?
Buy PlayStation 3 this late in the game?
For all the free games that they're pumping out. And they've got old PS2 games on there for download that I want to play too. They're an old JRPG called Ring of Red. They have it on the PSN network for $10 fucking bucks, and I want to play it really fucking bad because I love that game on PS2. And unless I figure out how the emulators work on PC, the only way I'm ever going to get to play it is on fucking PS3. It makes me sad, but I really want to play that game. So yeah, I've been trying to get me a PS3 just basically to download that one fucking game.
I've been wanting to sell off this for a fucking Wii U.
Why a Wii U?
Because I've been jonesing for an old Nintendo game. Like, I want to play the old Zeldas and Marios.
Then just buy a Wii and get them off of there.
But I figured I'd get the Wii U because the Wii U is the current console, and...
No, see, the Wiis have the nifty little controller that look like the old school Nintendo controller.
Yeah.
So if you were going to go that direction, that would be the way I'd go. You get the little...
You can interface those with the Wii U.
Well, and the big fucking controller with the TV screen on it?
I think you can still use the small pads, too.
Oh, the old... Well, okay, I think you're probably right on that one.
I think. I don't know. I don't know much about the Wii U.
Yeah, neither do I.
Let's find out together.
All I know is that the Wii U controller, you can play that without even having the console. Well, you have to have the console turned on, but you don't need the TV.
Of course, it takes fucking GameSpot. Wow, the zombies video games. After the fucking 400 millionth video game with zombies in it. I was asking that fucking 5 years ago after zombies and fucking World at War.
Are we on
What's
the
with all the fucking zombies?
Are we on the right page here, or are we waiting for this to change over?
Oh, I was just... Shit, I gotta go to full screen. It's all zoomed in. I was looking for...
You mean like specs on the Wii U? Like
just games.
Oh, just games.
Let's just go under the assumption that I want to buy a Wii U today.
Let's...
What am I looking at here?
Well,
Wonderful
we've got...
101. What the hell is that?
That is... I don't know, some Japanese bullshit compilation, it looks like.
Holy Jesus God, what the fuck?
If we get our server, if our shit crashes because you're looking at fucking Wii U videos, I'm going to be so pissed. It's not even going to work. All right, skip it. You want to know what's on the Wii U? Smash Brothers. And
yeah, fuck Smash Brothers.
A lot of the versions of the games that are coming out. There
the
you go.
Wonderful 101 is #1 in top 10 games.
That's because it's probably a Japanese game that all the...
Well, bring it up.
Bring what up? The Wonderful 101. God damn it, where's the controller?
I don't know.
All right, but then you got
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
I always hated that game. Pikmin, I've never played.
I've never played Super Smash Brothers.
Wait a minute. Top 10 games. Wii U basic set.
I don't know what the hell.
So the system is the fourth top game. That's fucking weird.
Monster Hunter
3. I heard that was fucking pretty kick ass, but I've never played a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah,
period. So I don't know.
I throw that into the Pokemon pile. So
Lego City Undercover. I don't know what that is, but I'm a big
fan
of Lego.
Yeah, it's a Lego game, but it's the actual Lego characters.
Yeah.
They're not based on any certain franchise. Did you see the trailer for the Lego movie that's coming out?
No.
Yeah, they got a full-length Lego movie, and it's got your basic Lego characters, and then it's got the Batman characters and the Pirates of the Caribbean characters. Like, everything that's ever been pumped through Lego is in this ridiculous fucking movie.
Then Legend of Zelda, what?
What? Legend of Zelda Wii U? They put Wii
Legend
U.
of Zelda Wii U, okay.
They got to put that on the end of everything just to make sure that you know what's on the Wii U. Because the Wii U is so horribly...
New Super Luigi?
Well, yeah, Luigi's got to have his going on. Hell, they made a big deal because Luigi was going to be in the next Smash Brothers, and I don't know why he wouldn't be in the next Smash Brothers because he's been a part of the Nintendo franchise for the last 30 goddamn years. Why would you leave him out of Super Smash Brothers?
Well, because he's just kind of a peon.
Okay, what am I looking for again? Wonderland?
Wonderful 101.
Wonderful 101. And Luigi is not a peon.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
He's player 2.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't.
Player 2 is always a peon. Well, nothing yet. I guess there is a lot of wonderful 101 trailer.
There we go.
Now we're gonna cut over to
Dow John and getting all into this damn. Oh, it's more E3 shit.
No. The Wonderful 101 prologue trailer. No, Wii U Wonderful 101 trailer. Do that.
It's the same goddamn thing.
No, it's only 128.
Oh, you're looking for the shorter video. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's a little Wii U action for you. Something we never talk about.
But we will soon if I buy one.
Yeah, 'cause I'm about to come over and play.
This is your first and only warning, invaders. Surrender your arms or we'll have to use force.
I don't get it.
It looks like a minis game of some sort. You like control an army of little guys.
We'll wipe their simpering smiles.
But then every once in a while you have to get down in the third person and control just one of them to unlock the door. Then you got these big fucking giant guys you run away from all the time.
I have no time to waste on pathetic
See, your
Then you
heroes
bring
are
your little
adorable.
army of mini guys again.
There is the blue wire music. Every insult an opportunity to run a
Yeah, it's a whole army of minis.
I don't know what you mean when you say mini.
All the little characters running around
I see
like
that,
ants.
but
Compared to everything else, they're pretty fucking miniature.
but that's what you refer to it like it's a popular term. I've never heard that term.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm kind of coming up with shit. Well, you ever played the Mario Minis game? Well, that's where I'm kind of coming from with this.
Team, unite up! Roger! The wonderful 101!
I could like a game like that.
Why?
It's
You're bitching-
adorable.
It's adorable. No, it's got a spinny slide.
Oh, it's got a water slide. I'm buying the fucking thing now.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Oh,
I would
Jesus.
love that game to death. I would hug that game.
You still got a video camera so we can set it up in your living room while you play it so we can talk about it?
If I can hear right, yeah, I'd do that.
Oh,
That'd
wow.
be awesome.
So, there you go. Wii U, Wonderful 101. I'm not buying a Wii U. There ain't no fucking way.
So what's Pikmin then?
Oh, God, who knows?
Stop that. We'll type in Pikmin 3.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see what we got.
How did we get on Wii U?
I don't know.
All right.
And this will be the last thing we discuss.
What the fuck? You mean off of?
Well, this episode. Because we're already at 55 minutes.
So?
Don't ask me how we got on that.
All right.
Tangent.
Pikmin 3.
It's Pikmin, not Pickyman.
Oh, good God.
Pikmin. That's
All these
disturbing.
videos are 20 minutes long.
Well, it's all Let's Plays. I think Gary's Mod is now some term for fucking... Yeah, Pikmin 3 trailer. I think Gary's
There we
Mod is
go.
some sort of slang for fucking any sort of mod. Because I think that was a Half-Life 2 thing. Adorable already.
That's all Wii U is, obviously, is adorable. We got the cute little
Isn't that
character,
adorable? Look at that dude.
a little pig in a spacesuit. Oh, my God. This is why the Wii U isn't selling anything.
Really?
Because, look, they got minis just like the other game.
You and your minis, I swear.
That's what this is. You charge around through a garden with a bunch of little yellow Teletubby-looking guys. Building bridges. Breaking glass. I'm not sure what they're doing there. Digging a hole. Or they're fixing a wire. Winged Pikmins. I keep wanting to say Pikmin. Yeah, that's it, little flying Pikmin. Lift that bridge. Take on fierce enemies like the snake from Beetlejuice.
So it kind of looks like Lemmings.
That's
only-
exactly what I was thinking of. I couldn't remember it. I knew you played it before. Except for there's no actual action in Lemmings. It's just...
Well, you have to, set everything up for them, and they just walk. But
Right.
this, it looks like you can get the lemmings to help you.
Yeah, and there's actually shit to fight. Wasn't like Lemmings, like a no action game whatsoever. Yeah. Compete with
It
your
was just
friends with their
obstacles.
minis.
But you move fruit around.
Oh my God. This looks so horrible.
Really?
Yes.
I'm intrigued.
You're intrigued by this.
Yes.
You don't want to play Batman multiplayer, but you're intrigued by this shit?
Yes, I am.
My God, you were just bitching about games made for 15-year-olds, and you're playing one made for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm regressing in my age. The older I get, the younger of the games I want to play.
Well, speaking of games that I played when I was young, go back to the topics. Since we're talking about games that are trying to make you feel younger.
Wait a minute. Maybe this would be better served on part 2.
All right.
Since this is an hour,
Okay, there we go. This is our episode for now. We've got a lot more stuff coming up on the next episode.
which is part 2.
Part 2. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Keep looking for our other episodes. We'll see you again next time on Next Gen Jerks.
Part 2.